Hi, guys. How you doing?
How we doing?
Now we can hear you.
Yeah, great to have you here. So just the evolution of the Sparkplug. I mean, when did you meet this guy, and how much have you seen his game develop from a youngster until now where you're about to let him loose? His wings are going to fly for real.
I mean, like, it's probably 2008, 2009, right around that time when we were at there. I remember the day he come through. We were at Fit One when it was next to on Lexington Avenue next to Kroger's. He come walking in. His parents came with him. We started talking. They didn't really just say like he was interested in getting. I was doing like an MMA class at the time. One day a week we did striking. One day a week we did jiu-jitsu, and I just noticed that. I was like, man, he's little. I mean, this little kid's like short and stocky. Already look like he's like together a little bit, like, you know. But then I was really amazed by how well he moved his body. I mean, like, 'cause a lot of things I'll have kids do cartwheels and different like gymnastics movements, kinda, and he hit him with perfection. And I was like, well, I can work with this. And then come to find out, his mother had put him in gymnastics when that was the first sport he actually done.
Huh.
And I always preach that if gymnastics is one of the best things you could get your kid to enter like early on, because they learn how to move their body and their body mechanics. So everyone that I've seen start in gymnastics, it elevates them in any sport they want to attack after that.
So would you show that off a lot as a kid? Because you're kind of a stocky kid your whole life, like doing the splits and some cartwheels and stuff?
I mean, yeah, I'd like to show off some cartwheels here and there, like the cartwheel kicks and stuff like that. I thought that was kind of cool.
Are you going to bring some of that flair, I imagine, into the cage with you?
I mean, we'll see. I mean, whatever happens, I'm comfortable wherever. Whatever happens, I'm just going to go out there and be the best Zane I can be.
Given that you've been doing it for so many years here, but this is just going to be your first fight, how do you decide what to keep adding into your tool belt? What are you currently working on to get better at this point?
I mean, everything. I mean, this sport of mixed martial arts it's endless. You can keep learning every day. There's something new you can learn every day. So it's kind of just a thing of every day I'm going in there and I'm going to say I'm getting better this day, getting better next day. You just keep building that, and every day hopefully I bring something out of practice. Like, you might learn 10 things at practice, but really you want to conquer one or two good things you're really good at that day, and you want to expand what you're good at and just keep going with that.
And Cody, for you, just identifying that, does that go from practice to practice, or do you kind of like start the day with some ideas of what you want to do?
I'll usually start the day with some ideas, like some different things that I feel like we're either lacking or something that I feel that they already do well, but we could just add a little bit more to it to make it even better. And then obviously, as I see him moving and watching all the guys as a whole, as I watch them move, I always critique and add little things in on the fly and little adjustments, because everyone's a little different. Like, Zane's kind of short, stockier in stature compared to like Nick, who's 6 foot long and lanky. So what works for Nick necessarily won't work for Zane. So like, I've never been on one of those coaches like, well, you got to do what he does. This is one thing I teach it like this. No, everybody's body's different. Everyone's style's different. And at the end of the day, I tell them like, this is art. Let's create. My goal is to learn from these guys too, as well. Like, you know, I like kind of give them the A and B, and I like them to add the little C in sometimes and put their own little flair on it.
Gentlemen, go ahead, fire away.
Yeah, I have a question for you, Zane. So I know a lot before the show. Obviously, you got your Lucas shirt on today and stuff too. But just knowing, you know, from your previous sports at Lucas, what's something that you've taken with you out of, you know, being an athlete in high school and at a school like Lucas, where I think, you know, it speaks volumes. All programs at Lucas kind of keep that same mentality of success in mind. Have you taken any of that, or has anything resonated with you as you've transferred over to, you know, getting the focus solely on this now?
I mean, growing up in Lucas, you know, it's a small community. Everybody grows up there, and everybody knows everybody. Everybody knows everything about everybody. So it's like one of those things where you develop friendships, you develop family. Like, it's a big family in Lucas, so like, it's like one of those things where it's a big brotherhood, and a lot of loyalty. I feel like loyalty is like a big thing out of like Lucas that I've learned. Loyalty and talking to people. You know, you see a lot of kids come from schools that can't have a conversation with anybody or anything. And I feel like everybody that comes out of Lucas, they end up being a pretty successful person or a good person. I mean, they preach just good people, bringing out good people in people.
My question for you, Zane, is what football techniques are you able to take into the MMA world?
I would have to say something like just being aggressive, and like I played nose guard and fullback, so like every play I'm going out there and I'm hitting that dude in the face. So like, I mean, it's the same mentality. I have the same mentality in any sport I've ever played. It's just you go hit him in the face and you go as hard as you can. I mean, that's what I would say out football. But I would say wrestling and MMA is what made me do anything in football. So.
Okay.
You packed on a ton of weight when you were at Lucas to play football. Tell me about the cut now. Like, where are you trying to get to, and what's that process been like for you? Because it's obviously not easy, and I think you're going down more than 40 pounds, right?
It's probably pretty close. So I started 230 in football. I was 230, and then wrestling season I went to 215. I wrestled 215. I probably could have went lower if I wanted to, but I guess I probably goofed off a little bit, honestly. But so right when Cody and me started talking about this fight, I was like, well, I want to be 185. And we were like, okay, so I started just eating, good food for me, stuff that was better than what I was eating before. And then Cody, it was probably 3-4 weeks ago, put a little critique in my diet because I was eating a little bit too much carbs and a little bit too much dairy. So we cut that to half and a lot less, and I just started dropping the weight. And I mean, I work hard every day, so it's not like I'm not working hard. So I'm losing the weight naturally working hard. But when we put a little critique in the diet, it just started coming off. And I mean, this is what I love to do. I'm living my dream right now. I've got a good job. I'm working. I'm fighting. This is what I've always wanted to do since I was 5 years old. So, I mean, it's pretty easy to lose the weight and put the dedication and lose the weight when it's something you want to do and you love.
Isn't that beautiful? Like, at the beginning of the fight game, like, you see the smile here. It's so genuine. He's so excited to be a part of this right now. It's awesome.
This one's from G-Man for both of you. Just what made you guys fall in love with fighting?
Me first. What first made me fall in love with fighting is probably wrestling. It was like I started. I just loved the individual, just one-on-one competition. I've tried going out for football when I was in 7th grade. There was 90 kids on the team when I went to Madison, and I was small. I was 78 pounds. I didn't get to play. I was I thought I was good athletically, but I was just small. So I was then I took on wrestling that year, and I was oh, just if somebody's in my weight class, it don't matter who they are. If I beat them, I'm wrestling this week. So then I went with that, and then as I got older, MMA gave me a second chance to be an athlete. I didn't start MMA until I was almost 24 years old. I was 2 months from being 24, and then that gave me a second chance to be an athlete, and then I ran with it and never looked back.
Zane?
I mean, honestly, what made me fall in love with MMA was I got bullied when I was younger, so then I got in MMA, and that kind of, sparked a lot of confidence in me, is a good word for it. And also, it's just the accountability. It's one-on-one. It's always you. It's just a one-on-one sport where you are making yourself better. Your competition's you. If you do bad a day and you slack a day, you're only hurting yourself. You're not hurting anybody else in the room. So, I mean, it's one of those sports where you just have to keep yourself accountable, and that's what really made me fall in love with MMA.
All right, I want to talk about your fight here in a minute, but Cody, as one of the co-founders of BCM Promotions, trying to start something from the ground floor, something that we've done here at the OH.Report, bro. I know
doing
about the
very
struggles.
well.
It's crazy, and you guys are doing really well too. So to make the initial leap from when you were a nothing, where hey, it's just an idea, to where you are now, what would you say is one of the biggest key hurdles that you found that you got over that's got you on this nice fast track to success? If it feels that way right now.
Discipline and staying the course. I've seen a lot of people when things get. A lot of people think when they get into something, they immediately think there's going to be success, and a lot of times that's not. Success takes time. You know what I mean, to build that up. And I'm just, I have a good person around me. Bob Marshall, our whole team, Tim Fairbanks, my wife Melissa, Nikki. It's not just myself. If we didn't have a good team around us, the BCM wouldn't be going on to Fight Night 10. We had a great success with Fight Night 9. That was our biggest show so far. We had over 1,000 people at Fairhaven Hall. The energy was crazy. I had clients that I personal trained that are in their 60s that were just loving the energy, and everyone was just, it was good vibes all night long, good performances by the athletes. And I like, and just building the relationships. If you want to be successful in anything, you got to have good relationships with everyone, with most people that you encounter with. And with my career and just my willingness to put myself out there has built my name up throughout Ohio, and I get a lot of love, and I'm very, very thankful for that.
You guys always get love when you come here. I'm glad that we've had this relationship for, man, over a decade now.
Yeah, I'm very, very thankful, man.
It's cool to watch both of you guys grow. So, Zane, go ahead, give us kind of the details about the fight. Who you fighting, and what's the key for the Sparkplug to get out to 1-0 for the career?
I mean, I'm fighting this kid named Zach Bennett. He's from Upper Sandusky, right?
I'm glad you know how to pronounce his name, because
he's 0-0 too. So
okay.
I mean, we're both 0-0 making our debuts. He's there's a big difference between us. He's 6'2", so he's a little bit taller than me, or a lot taller than me.
How tall are you?
Maybe 5'7" on a good day. But he's a wrestler. He has a wrestling background, which I mean that's what we got out of him. So I mean, the big key to victory for me is just to stay confident in myself and my abilities. And I've been surrounded by the best people in the world my whole life. I mean, my parents have took me everywhere, wherever I needed to get better. I've been with Cody since I was 5, been with Mickey Skindova since I was about 7. I mean, I've traveled everywhere, training, getting better every day, and I just take that step every day, and I believe that it don't matter what he throws at me. I'm comfortable wherever I'm at. If I'm on the ground, if I'm standing up, wherever I'm at, I believe that I'm comfortable wherever, and that's my key to victory. I mean, just be myself and be the Sparkplug.
You gotta be one of the most seasoned guys ever to be making his debut, period. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm gonna be there on Saturday. Cody, give the people the details. Where can they find tickets? How can they get into the show?
The event it's our first event in Upper Sandusky. It's at Route 30 Harley Davidson. It's an outside venue. It's going to be under a tent. We have a big Harley's having a big event during the day. Fights, the doors open at 5:30. Fights start at 7. You can get on bcmpromotions.com and it'll send you the links to purchase your tickets, or you can buy them at the door.
All right, so either way, and real quick before we have you guys check out of here, give me some quick predictions, Zane, on Lucas opening night, taking on Clear Fork. Obviously, Colt's got all these expectations. You were part of that huge senior class that just left. Why is Lucas still going to be in the driver's seat and get the dub?
Lucas Cub football, baby. I mean, it's just that simple. I mean, Scott Spiller, he's made our program so good, and Coach Spiller knows how to get the win. I mean, it's just that simple. I mean, whoever we get, I mean, they have athletes, we have athletes, but at the end of the day, are they going to be able to stop 34 power all night long? And there's no way. There's no way.
Well said, baby.
RPO.
RPO.
All right. Zane, the Sparkplug Finley, making his MMA debut this weekend, Saturday night in Upper Sandusky. Cody the Wolverine Stevens and his BCM Promotions is who's putting it on. Guys, thank you so much for the time.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys
so much.
Thanks for the swag, Cody.
No doubt.